He's country music royalty. We're talking to Sam Williams coming up next. This episode of Connected with Kelly is sponsored by Pickers Vodka, proudly made in Nashville, Tennessee. So Pickers is a tribute to the musicians whose sounds fill the air in Music City. Pickers Vodka is distilled 11 times from non-GMO corn, and it's gluten-free. My new favorite is the Pickers Unplugged Vodka Soda. They're in cans. They are only 96 calories, 0 carbs, great flavors. You need to give them a try. Visit pickersvodka.com to find out more or to order online. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Connected with Kelly. Sam Williams, he is the son of Hank Williams Jr., the grandson of Hank Williams. That's a long legacy to live up to. And now he's releasing his debut album. But get ready because he's doing it his own way. Let's get connected with Sam Williams. Sam, it's so good to see you.
You too.
Hey, congratulations on this album, man. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I mean, it's so interesting, too. I've heard this from so many people, that debut album. Like, this is the debut album that you've been writing your whole life, right?
Right. I mean, I never knew what it would be like, but I always imagined as a kid putting out my debut album. Like, what is it going to be like? And, trying to not have too many expectations about it. But, it came together just as it was supposed to be, and I'm proud of it.
I do want to back up. Was there ever a time that you didn't want to do music in your life?
Oh, for sure. For a very long time. And I think it's, I think it's just one of those things where you're just shy. And I've said a lot, like, kids who come from a family of like all doctors or lawyers or something, they're like, one thing I'm not going to do is go to med school. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm going to play basketball. And I think that I was like that for a very long time. And it just felt, it just seemed like an insurmountable pressure. And I can still, falter to that to this day. I mean, all the time. But I just kind of had to realize, there was no epiphany, but, I just had to realize that I have something unique to offer, and I don't have to be the same as people in my family or, music that I don't like. I can just do my own thing. And some people will connect with it. And I love it. I do.
Was it mostly relief or excitement or anxiety in putting out this album, or a combination of all three?
Definitely a combination. I felt a lot of accomplishment and just pride in being myself and not being something fabricated. I finished my album before signing with Universal. And that doesn't really happen very much. Usually a major label is involved in the background of you making your record and everything involved with the artwork and visuals and everything like that. And luckily I've had a great team around me for years up until this point. So it was a done deal. And now to have a big company behind me championing me feels really good. And it, just feels like I'm doing something right. And there could have been a lot of different paths I could have taken, and I didn't. And I'm glad.
Which of these songs on this album, Sam, have you had the longest? Because, as we said, a debut album, you've been writing it your whole life. So I know some of these you've been holding on to for years for this project. So which on this album has been with you the longest?
I want to say it is Happy All the Time. I wrote Happy All the Time in, I think, 2018. It was the very first time I'd met Mary Gauthier, and we wrote together. And I knew when I had that song that it was important, and I wanted to put it out independently and just put it out as a single. And I didn't care if it wasn't going to get heard or anything. And everyone around me was like, no, wait. Like, you can't, not yet. And I guess I'm glad that I waited. But
you have Dolly singing on this song with you. I'm glad you waited too.
right. And she just makes it something so beautiful. And there hasn't been many multi-generational collaborations in country music in a long time. And I just feel really honored that she wanted to co-sign my thoughts and my voice and my writing. And so I was in the headspace of making this album years ago, and that would be the one that I've had the longest. Mm-hmm.
How did you approach her? I need to know this backstory because she is my everything and I love her so much. And I know most of us feel the exact same way. So how do you approach an icon? Did you know her already? And how did this all come together?
Well, actually, she used to come to my house when I was a kid.
Of course. As one does.
I'm completely joking. No.
Okay.
No.
That's not out of the question, Sam. That's really not out of the question.
Doesn't know Dolly at all. It's interesting. One of her very first cuts as a songwriter when she first moved to Nashville, my dad cut a song of hers called "I'm in No Condition" in the 70s. And I'm sure they've seen each other at award shows and things like that, but they've never worked together or really done anything. And I've just always looked up to her so much because she is so unafraid and unapologetic and accepting and welcoming and warm and just strong. And she's just a wonderful person to look up to for anyone, I would say. And it's kind of a long story, but my manager called me one day in 2019. I was making my son breakfast and she was like, "We've got to get Dolly on Happy." And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound really attainable and like that's going to happen, but I love the big dreams. I'm all about it. I'll talk to you later. And I started focusing everything I had on that. I was speaking it all the time. I would go buy anything Dolly related that I saw in a store. I was really trying to make it happen. And it was like getting into like a military compound to try to get a hold of her.
Right.
It was not easy. And I got really lucky. A songwriter friend of mine is really close with someone that she's friends with and works with. And she kind of bent the rules for me. And she was like, "I'm not really supposed to do this, but I feel called to you for some reason. And I don't know why, but I do. And if you want to get a message to her, just make it personal and I'll get it to her." So I sat down and I wrote her a 2-page letter. I just wrote, "Hi, Miss Dolly." And I just wrote her a very real letter about me, about my life, my songwriting, how validating it would be to get to sing with her if she would like to. And I've kind of made a whole little care package. I borrowed a typewriter and typewrote the lyrics to "Happy All the Time Out," got them laminated. I just kind of wanted to make it like tangible and I don't know, just a cool thing. And she really appreciated it and loved the message of the song. And that was really cool for me because I obviously knew that she turns down most things that she gets offered. And because she doesn't really have to do anything she doesn't want. And she does things kind of based on message and impact. And the fact that, what my thoughts and my words and my voice were, on brand with her message felt really, really awesome. And we've only got to meet once, but she was just absolutely amazing. And I love her. I love her so much.
And she smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And her legs fold over like little chopsticks, like nothing you've ever seen. And I feel like she has a closet of like every color jewelry, bangle, ring, necklace of just like all colors.
Right.
Like, she had on like red and black bracelet bangles and red and black rings and necklaces and earrings. And I don't know. It's like she has like a really expensive, like Charming Charlie's at her house. with like jewelry of every single color. It's kind of insane.
Charming Charlie's. Oh my gosh, I picture it, and you're probably exactly right. It just makes me so happy. I love the fact that you do have her on this album, and then you have Keith on a song as well. And in hearing that song, I really want to talk to you about it because I love that, and it is, on the edge of country, and I don't think that stopped you from anything that you wanted to do on this album. The lyrics are there and the heart is there. It doesn't necessarily sound exactly like what you would hear on the radio. It's definitely your sound. Did you ever feel like you were being swayed or maybe persuaded to bend a little bit and make it more country or make it more something that you would hear on the radio?
I definitely have been along the way. And, that's just the business. And there definitely were conversations about going more country. And, it kind of just came down to that. I mean, what's the definition of country? I think that there was conversations about me going more mainstream country, more similar and familiar to what's popular. And it just didn't feel authentic to me. And Kids was the last song I put on the album, and it's the only song that I didn't write myself. And, I thought it was important to have more of a big sound on the record and to just showcase different things that I can do. And I loved the message of the song, and Keith agreeing to jump on it was really, really awesome. And, I think that a lot of times for people, it's really, they want to get a hit record and they want to be on the radio. And, I want those things as well. I'm not going to lie, I do. But it was more important for me to bring something unique to the table. And regardless of how it was, received, that I did it for me, and that that I was authentic in doing it, and that even if it isn't something that someone likes, that they can't say that this is fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one of the main things for me. I tried not to think too hard about direction and what will people think. I tried not to delve into that too hard.
Are you happy with the feedback that you've gotten so far? Is it different than what you expected?
Definitely. I've gotten so much more amazing feedback than anything negative, and you're always going to have that. And I mean, I've just loved to see how it's impacted people. Like when I get tagged in a story and somebody's like, I've never had an album hit this close to home, like that makes me feel really good. And, it lets the listener, the fan know that even if you think someone's famous or whatever, fill in the blank, that everybody has trials and tribulations. And, it just makes you feel, I feel like it makes you feel seen when you listen to it. And I think that's really important. And I love to feel that way listening to music. So, it's had amazing reception, and I feel really, really good about that. And I'm just excited to ride it out and also to see what's next.
What was the response from the family?
From the family?
Yes.
My dad is really, really proud. He doesn't really do a lot with me in my music career at all. And I think that he's just proud that I've been able to do my own thing and, not listen too much to what, naysayers have to say or anything like that. And he just loves for me to do me. And he came to see me sing at the ACM Honors a few weeks ago, and that was really, really special. And my sister Holly, my half sister Holly Williams, has always been a big influence of mine. She hasn't put out an album in way too long, but she's always been a huge influence of mine. And for someone that knows me so personally and knows my life, to, see the art that I've created, and really respect it feels really, really good, especially if someone you look up to. And I definitely look up to her very much. So that makes me feel good.
So good. Before I let you go, I have to ask, tell me about Can't Fool Your Own Blood, because I do want to know, like, that song, where you were when it was coming together and what the response has been.
I wrote Can't Fool Your Own Blood. There was an interview I saw years ago, and I don't remember who it was, but it was this guy saying that one of the most important things he remembered from his childhood was his dad catching him in a big lie and telling him how bad that was. And just remember him being angry and telling him you don't want to grow up to be a good liar. And I wish I would have thought about that more growing up, becoming an adult, because sometimes you don't think of it as a big deal and you don't think about the impact. And I wanted to, use personal anecdotes in my life of people lying, and the damage that it can cause. And then in effect of that, the damage that you can cause lying to yourself and lying to those around you. So, I just kind of tell stories in the first verse, and then go into kind of the like the trickle effect of, if you lie to yourself, you're gonna miss your destiny. You're gonna hurt people that you don't want to hurt, and act out of something that's not really who you are. And I'd never heard. I came up with that title when I was writing that day. And I thought for a minute, I'm like, people can understand this title. Like, are they going to get it? But at the end of the day, like when you listen to the song, you do. And I've had so many people like really, really love that song and say it's their favorite on the record. So I'm really proud of it. I wrote it with Mary Gauthier and her partner, Jamie Harris. And yeah, it's one of my faves for sure.
So good, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kelly.
So good to see you. Glass House Children, I can't wait for everybody to hear this.
Thank you so much.
Okay, before I let you go, tell me your favorite throwback country song.
Why'd you come in here looking like that in your cowboy boots and your faded on jeans?
Why? Why do you love that one?
Because Dolly's just a badass, and it just, I don't know. I didn't grow up in that era, so I don't know what the 70s were like or the 80s were like. And to, hear her like musical evolution into the 80s and like making pop music and like going to Hollywood, like it's just so cool. And I just love her. And that was what came to mind.
Love it. I love it. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, man.
You too.
Glass House Children is the name of the album, everybody. Make sure you check it out. It is so unique, and the duet with Dolly, Happy All the Time, is perfect. I want to know your favorite throwback country song. Let me know below in the comments. Hit that bell. That way you'll be notified when we drop new episodes. And make sure that you're subscribed. Tell all your friends about this channel. We have new episodes each and every week. Until then, make sure that you're staying connected with all the people and things you love the most.